Imagine being love. Love gives of itself selflessly, without expecting reward. Love is powerful. Under its kind guidance, human potential thrives. Love defies reason, yet it makes perfectly good sense.
Current estimates of children who may benefit from adoption in South Africa range between 1.5 and 2 million. If you can touch just one life, give just one child a loving home, help just one human being reach their full potential, then you'll be making a significant difference in this world. Are you longing to become a parent, or to extend your family, to welcome a child into your home?
Often an adoption story starts with a history of infertility, and that is where our story started. And today I'm so glad that we didn't carry through the pregnancy all the way, because then we would have missed out on Jenna.
Yes.
And now we can look back on that and see God's hand in wanting to give Jenna to us.
But what if I already have children of my own, you might be wondering. How do you make room for an adopted child in an established family?
A lot of people have asked me whether my adopted child differs from my own children, and I can honestly say no. With my own children, my belly stretched, my ankles swelled, and I got heartburn. But with my adoptive child, my whole world stretched. My heart swelled, because for the very first time I understood what it was like not to have that child grow inside you and just be given that child and fall in love with it straight away, like a dad does when his baby is born. But this baby was clean and beautiful and just the most amazing thing that had ever been passed to me, ever.
Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes we find ourselves torn between the desire to adopt and our loyalty towards the beliefs of our culture. Oftentimes, traditional African worldviews do not support the practice of official adoption.
Adoption is not a common practice in African culture, mainly because it was previously done not by paper or any legalities. It's actually done, but it was not called adoption. It was just family arrangement between the parents who need a child and the parent who cannot take care of the child.
Adoption is not a well-known culture within the African context.
I think there's also a sort of cultural beliefs around ancestors, that if you're not born to the family by blood or related to the family by blood, you're not going to be connected to your ancestors and won't be accepted by the ancestors as well.
It's a lot of stuff. Myths, misconceptions. People will be thinking, firstly, maybe in adoption only married couple can adopt, or only rich people can adopt, or only educated people can adopt. And sometimes people even think, maybe if I was employed, I can be considered, or if I was not working, I was a stay-home mom, because they'll be thinking, how am I going to take care of this child if I'm working and everything? And other people will even think, if I'm a single mom, I cannot adopt.
In addition to cultural concerns, adoption is a question of race too. Many people are still hesitant towards interracial adoptions, but the truth is, love is colorblind.
It's very easy for me to explain to Sarah that she's not my birth child because she's a child of colour. She's a coloured little girl, so when we look in the mirror we can see that we're very different. She knows that she did not grow in my tummy. She knew that she grew in her birth mother's tummy.
We are all just human beings and we all just want to be loved. So it doesn't really matter. The colour of the skin makes absolutely no difference at all.
You know what, actually, before we adopted, I used to say to my wife, what if we adopted a Filipino baby? Because you know, there's lots of children as well in the Philippines that, you know,
That need homes.
That need homes, etc. And so it would have been exactly the same.
Adoption is a legal process and can take between 6 months to a year to be finalized. However, when you consider that a child's future is at stake, it makes sense that we should do everything we can to ensure that the right decisions are being made.
The adoption process begins with whoever wants to adopt, contacting a social worker. Now, this social worker needs to be from an accredited child protection organisation that specialises in adoption, or from an accredited private practitioner. They would then be screened and assessed, and this is a vigorous process where they are taken through a lot of interviews and a preparation for the adoption, preparation and education. The purpose of the interviews is to get background information and to assess the family's capacity to be able to adopt.
Being an adoptive parent is, I think, one of the best things that could happen to us. You know, we're really blessed to be able to adopt a child.
I think there's no difference between an adoptive parent and a parent. A parent is a parent. So if you have the child by birth or by adoption.
But maybe something else is keeping you from adopting. Perhaps you think you're too old or not rich enough. Or perhaps it's the fact that you are gay or single or both. Fact is, it doesn't matter. The only thing that does is your ability to provide a child with a loving, caring home.
Well, firstly, I'm gay. I've always wanted to have a son. I know when you start off with the process, it's very, very scary. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's expected of you. But go for it. Just go for it. It's really worth it. And you know, just think that you're going to get this little child, and he's going to be part of your life, and you're going to give him everything that he wouldn't have had, and he's going to give you everything that you wouldn't have had if you didn't have him.
So adoption is saying, I am here, available, my heart is open, my home is open, and I'm bringing in a child that needs it. And the biological mother is saying, I'm in need, I need someone to help me, I need someone to help me in this circumstance that I'm in.
If there is one theme, one truth that runs like a golden thread through every successful adoption story, it's love. Because adoption, at its core, is one of the ultimate expressions of love.
We understand a free gift of love so much deeper, and like just grace that's freely given so much more. I think it's changed our hearts because we've discovered love that was inside us that we didn't know we had.
God had decided to honor us with his kids.
Yes.
Because adoptive kids are his kids.
Yes.
They come from heaven.
When we look at the benefits of adoption, as saying that you receive more than you are giving. It's not just the child receiving a home, but it's also the parents receiving a child. In Ndebele language, they say ukumbelekela. It means someone else is giving birth for someone else. So adoption and Ubuntu, they go hand in hand because they say people are there for one another. No one is an island. No one should be just thinking about themselves, but people should be thinking about the next person.
Now that's the kind of love that almost 2 million orphaned, abandoned and vulnerable children in South Africa deserve. Why don't you consider adoption as an option? Just imagine.